really excited for this video. It's gonna be kind of different than the videos that you've been seeing. You've been seeing like a lot of cutesy relationship videos, which I am totally all about and I love, but this is gonna be not on that wavelength at all. This is gonna be really filmy and nerdy. So, I want to talk about the equipment that I use, and I want to give you guys suggestions, for what to purchase and what to spend your money on if you are interested in buying some good equipment. So the camera that I'm filming on right now is a Canon 60D. It's really, really nice. Right now the Canon 70D is out. It's going to be a little bit more money. And I like the 60D. The 60D comes with the like pull-out swivel screen, so I can see me recording me, which is really nice. This camera right now is on the market for about $1,000. But it's great. And the lens that I'm using, which totally changes everything, because you can just you can buy like any kind of DSLR and totally change the picture with the right lens. So what I usually film my normal videos on is this. This is the kit lens. This is just the lens that comes with the camera. It's really nice. And this lens is much wider than the Canon T3s. So there's two grades of Canon cameras. And Canon is kind of the DSLR you want to buy if you're going to go into film. If you like photography, go ahead, buy a Nikon. That's great. But if you want to do film, Canon is kind of like the mainstream and a widespreadly accepted DSLR to use. And then there's kind of like two grades of Canon. There's amateur and there's professional. And my camera is the cheapest camera in the professional category. And then the T3Is are technically amateur cameras, which is totally fine. They make great pictures, but they are amateur cameras. And like, I notice a difference between the T3Is and the 60 and 70Ds. And the T4Is and the T5Is and, you know, whatever. And it's mostly because of the lens it comes with. This lens is really, really wide. And I really like it. So if you're like, oh, I don't know if I want a T4i or a Canon 60D, I would go for the 60D. I think it makes a big difference. But they both have swivel screens, which is great. That's basically the like back digital screen that you can pull out and then turn to you so I can film and still watch me, which is good because then I can see if my framing is right. So anyway, the camera's about $1,000. I think the 70D is like $1,500 right now. But anyway, the 60D comes with a really, really nice wide lens. The T3Is come with kind of a narrower lens. The shot is just much more close. But the lens that I'm filming on right now is a Rokinon fisheye, and I really like it. It's really, really cool. It can't zoom. This lens does not have the capacity to zoom, and it's incredibly wide. You are seeing my entire apartment. I think you are even seeing the entrance to my bathroom, which is like 7 feet away. It's crazy. This lens is really wide and I really, really like it, and there's sometimes when I need really wide shots. This lens gets everything. Like right now, my hands are like on the exact like plane of the lens. And you can like see, it's crazy. This is a really good, this lens was like, I think it was like $300, and it's a Rokinon fisheye, and I really like it. It helps me a lot because sometimes you just can't zoom out enough with the kit lens. And then all you do is pop on this lens and you get the widest shot in the world. Anyway, as far as sound goes, I just made a really cool purchase. It's this. It's the, Zoom H5, I think. What is it called? I think it's called either it's a Zoom microphone, and it's the 5. And I don't know if it's the HN5 or the HR5 or just the H5, but it's a Zoom microphone and it's great. And what I used to use was this shotgun mic, this Rhodes shotgun mic, and this was actually a gift from Hannah Hart. And it was really, really nice. And I really appreciated the gift and it was great, but it had some problems with it, which is why I stopped using it. Anyway, both of these mics are both, for the most part, better than the internal microphone that comes on the camera. But this one I had issues with because it's not very omnidirectional. In order for you to get good sound, you have to be like directly in front of the mic. As soon as you move here or here, you can really hear a difference, and the sound becomes much more echoey and like large roomy and kind of tinny, and you can just hear a big difference. You really have to be in front of the mic in order to hear it. Also, this mic has a lot of peak clipping, which is essentially where if you talk really loudly, or if you have kind of a higher, more screechy voice, which kind of is me, your audio tends to peak a lot, and it gives it this kind of like, ah! sound. Like, I bet I could make this peak right now. Here, I'll actually, well, no, I can't show you, but if you know, you can Google what peak clipping is, and this microphone had a lot of peak clipping, and then when I went in to buy a new microphone, the people at the store told me that shotgun mics and Rode mics have a lot of issues with peak clipping, and I really noticed it, and it wasn't very omnidirectional. This microphone, though, if you know how to use it, and if you have the right voice in order to use it, and I really don't. My voice is really high and kind of screechy, and it tends to peak clip more easily than other voices, but if you have like a low, manly voice, this mic might work really well for you, and it's only $100. It's a really good mic. I'm thinking about giving it away. I just don't use it. It doesn't really work for me, but it's a good piece of equipment. But, so I moved on to this. So this is $100, and this is about $300. And what's really cool about this is it is omnidirectional. You can see how the microphones like point in two directions. So you get a nice they go like, the directions that these mics are pointing are like this. So you get a nice field where you can like move around and not lose the sound, which is really, really great. Also, what's nice about, I got the H5 for a reason, because there's a Zoom H1, which is only $100 and really, really great. And then there's like a 2 and a 4, and the 4 is really, really good too, and the 4 is only like $200. But I got the 5, which is more expensive, it's $300, and I got the 5 for a reason. The reason that I got it is because something that's cool about the 5 is it has this line output, and then this doesn't come with a camera. You have to buy it. It's a simple like male-to-male input and output cord. It's just a cord. It's literally $1.99 on Amazon, so it's not a big investment. You put it into the line out, and then you can pop it right in your DSLR, which is really, really cool. And then and this is another thing that the microphone doesn't come with, but this was only like $6.99 on Amazon. It's called a hot shoe mount, and it plugs right into, oh, just kidding. Boopity boop. It plugs, or twists right onto the camera, and then this can sit on top of the camera the exact same way that this shotgun mic does. Because the shotgun mic like comes with the hot shoe mount, like already built onto it, because that's what it's for. But this microphone is actually more built for musicians and things like that. I was just like, hey, I'm a film person, I'm gonna try to use this microphone for film. Anyway, so you get the hot shoe mount, and it pops right on top of the camera, and then you get the input-output cord. These two things, these extra things that don't come with the microphone, cost less than $10. You plug it right into the microphone, it sits on top of the camera, and it's great. And this input-output cord doesn't come on any model lower than the E5, which is why I got the 5. And then the thing that makes it inconvenient if you get less than a 5, so it doesn't have the input-output cord, so what you actually have to do is you have to record the sound and the picture, and then you have to sync them together, and that is hella annoying. I mean, it's easy. All you do is give it a big clap. That's why you see like the snap boards and people clapping before shots. It's because then they see a big spike in the audio and they go, oh, that's where I sync it. But that's still a lot of work. And like if I do like jump cuts and shit, it's a lot of work to have to sync audio and video together. I just want them to be filmed at the same time. That's why I get the H5, because it can film it at the same time. It's great. It's way better than the internal microphone on the Canon. Here, I'll put in some clips right now of like what recording sounds, because I'm recording on the internal mic right now, but I'll give you a clip of what it sounds like recording on the Zoom versus the internal mic with the camera now. Hey everyone, this is recording for the sound. I turned up the gain a little bit just to see if that made a difference. Maybe it will make a difference, maybe it won't make a difference, who knows. One thing is, I am happy with the framing. Hi everyone, now this is the same thing, but with the internal mic. Let's see if you can hear a difference. I'm not sure if you can, maybe you can. I don't really quite know yet. We'll find out. See, I think it's so much better. Anyway, it's just better. Anyway, so, and then as far as memory cards goes, here, my tripod, which you see right there, is a Manfrotto, which is really nice. It was only like a $50 tripod, but a lot of YouTubers I find spend like $20 on tripods, which is fine, but I think it's really worth it to invest the extra little bit of money for like a Manfrotto. A lot of YouTubers like Manfrotto. They just are cheap and don't get it, which is totally fine. But for me, it's worth it because I want to show you what a Manfrotto does that other pieces of equipment don't. So first of all, this can get to like 6 feet tall. It can get taller than me, which is great. So I can totally stand and like have a shot where I'm completely in it, which is fantastic. But something cool about this is this is like your shoulder. This is a ball and socket joint, which is really neat. And a lot of tripods aren't like this. You either can raise it, and then you have to do another thing to turn it, and then you have to do another thing to do this, and another thing to do this. It takes a lot of screwing and unscrewing in order to get the right angle. With me, it's one thing. It's this right here. And like this can go literally any way. It's exactly like your shoulder. It can just anywhere. And so I want to point here. I want to point here. Here, 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 here. And this is only $50. Like, I understand if you can't buy like a $300 microphone when your camera comes with an internal mic. I get that. But if you're debating like a $30 kind of crappy tripod versus a $50 really nice tripod, I really recommend this Manfrotto. So yeah. Oh, I spilled. The lights that I use, I got for Christmas. I didn't even pick them out, but they're Cowboy Studio lights, but they're really nice. I think they were only like $120, and they come with 3 lights. I only have 2 out right now. But what's cool about, like, a lot of people before they buy lights, they don't know that, like, light bulbs and then, like, photography light bulbs are much different. What you're buying is this high wattage daylight bulb, and it's like a really white light. A lot of the lights in your house are going to be more yellow, and it totally gives off a different light. And your camera is built with a daylight setting, so when you go to do the white balance, you'll see, like, a white fluorescent, or a daylight setting, or like a fluorescent light setting. So these lights are like built for the settings on your camera. If you have enough of them, you can use the daylight setting. You don't have to use the tungsten indoor setting, which is really, really nice because it kind of gives, I don't really like that setting. But anyway, the daylight bulbs do make a big difference, and it's hard to understand how they make a difference until you purchase one. It's hard to explain, but it makes a big difference. But yeah, and for 3 whole lights, and reflector umbrellas, and I just filmed right now, and I don't even have this light on. I got it out just in case I wanted to, but I didn't. But I only need 1 light, and the whole $120 set comes with 3, which is great. So you're just gonna get lots of shit and you're only gonna use like 1. And then as far as memory cards go, I spend a lot of money on my memory card. I just bought a 64, micro SD card. It's a 64 gig micro SD card. It was a lot of money. It was like an $80 memory card. But it's nice. It is 64 gigs, so I never have to worry about emptying my card and filling it. Ever. And then it's a micro SD, which is nice because I have a GoPro. And so I can use the 64 gig card and plug it right into my GoPro. And it's just awesome. And you can plug the micro SD card into your phone, and you can plug it, I don't know. I like the fact, this is the most expensive memory card that I've ever bought. If I lose it, I'm going to be really bummed. But yeah, it's a lot of recording. I don't know how many minutes of recording. It's got to be like, I don't even know, but it's 64 gigs. That's a lot. That's like the amount that some of the biggest iPhones hold, and then the micro SD. And I just think it's worth it. If you have always been buying like 8 or 16 gig memory cards, and you keep having to like empty your card and then pop it back in, I would just, like, one day when it's, like, your birthday or Christmas, I would just be like, hey, I deserve a really big memory card, and then get, like, a 32 or 64 gig memory card, because it's nice. It's just been, like, I've only had this for a couple weeks, or more like a month, but I've been, like, it's just been a really, I don't have to deal with the headache of unloading my card and popping it back in and waiting for it to unload. This is never gonna fill up. It's a massive memory card. So yeah, now you know what I use. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer them.